March time frame, I started to just feel like I thought at first I was gaining weight. It's winter. Oh, my pants are getting tight. And then it was like, it felt hard. The bloating in my stomach, it felt really different. So I thought, I better go to the doctor. Something's not right. And I had no idea anything about ovarian cancer. I did not go to the gynecologist. I just went to my PCP. He ordered a CAT scan. Some stuff showed up on the CAT scan. They called me like 2 hours after I had it, so you know that's not good. And then I went to the gynecologist, and they did an internal vaginal ultrasound. And they found a big mass in my, on my ovary. And so then I went to more CAT scans, more blood work, the oncologist, on and on and on. And I was eventually then I was diagnosed as a 3C ovarian cancer. And then and one of the tests that they did also was a colonoscopy, and they found that the cancer was wrapped around my colon, so I had to have part of my colon removed as well. I had cancer on almost every single thing in my abdomen. Not anything in my lungs, thank God, but up to the diaphragm, down to the colon, kidneys, liver, everything. So they removed everything they could remove, but it wasn't inside any of my organs. That's what caused it. That would be a stage 4 when it actually has gone inside. So they basically scraped it all off. The doctor was really confident that he had gotten all of it out. So that was great. So then I had to recover for a little while, I think about 6 weeks. And then I started chemo. And I had IP. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not.
Okay. It's I have a port here for IV, where the chemo goes onto your veins, but I had a port also here where the chemo goes directly into your intraperitoneal cavity, but it just goes in there and flushes over all of your. It doesn't go into the vein; it goes right into your abdomen. In which I had two treatments 1 week, one treatment the next week, and then I had a week off. And 2 out of the 3 were IP, and 1 was IV. I had Taxol and cisplatin. I didn't have any trouble with the Taxol. The cisplatin sucks. Really, you really feel crappy. Plus, when they put all this fluid in here, it made me, I gained like 5 or 6, 7 pounds every time they put it in, and then you just have to wait for it to go out, so it's very uncomfortable, and the cisplatin burns. It hurts, and at least it did for me. It doesn't maybe for everybody, but it did for me, and it just made me really tired. But I never got nauseous, so I was grateful for that. Yeah. But when I had all that fluid, it was hard to eat. And the first round of chemo, they put in 2 liters of fluid, and I'm a small person, and I got really sick. I was really sick, and I felt really horrible, and I actually lost 8 pounds in a week. So it wasn't good. So they adjusted that, and they took me down to 1.5 liters, and they had me taking some different Miralax and antacid to help with how I was feeling. And so it was better after that. I mean, I didn't feel great. I had to lay down for a couple of days. But I managed. I worked through the whole thing. I mean, I didn't work every day, but I worked when I could and tried to, be as active as I could. And then I had that for 18 weeks. There was different, my blood count went low. I had to do this. I had to do that. The other thing, there was lots of stuff. One time I had to get red blood cells. Matter of fact, right after, I did this walk when I was still in chemo last year. And I did it. I did the mile, and the next day I went, and they said I had to get red blood. And I was like, oh, no wonder that was so hard. And as soon as they give you the red blood, it's amazing how much more energy you have. I was just like, oh, thank God, and just had to be careful with, the only thing I got was, as far as the low white blood counts, was the first time it was low, I got a UTI. And then they started giving me a shot to increase that. And there's side effects to that. It's like everything they do to fix something else, there's a side effect to that as well. But I got done with chemo, and last time they checked my marker, it was 7, I think. From 1,200, I think it was 7. So, so far my checkups have been going well. I go every 3 months for blood work and for the doctor. I have a friend who had ovarian cancer a couple years before me, goes to my church, So she told me about the walk, and so I wanted to participate in that. And last year, since I was still in chemo, just myself, my husband, and my 2 kids went. But I still put out an email if anybody would donate, and I think I still raised like $600 or $700 just by doing that one email, you know. So then I met some of the people there, and I got on the email list to say when the meetings were, and I thought, well, maybe I just check it out. And so I went to the first meeting, because my friend doesn't go to the meeting, so I didn't really get the desire to go from her. So I just met the people, and I just wanted to see what it was like. And I enjoyed the fellowship, the sharing of information, and the support of the other people. And like I said, somebody there told me to maybe try acupuncture for the neuropathy, you know, and just other people's experience. And like there's one woman now that is on her 3rd recurrence, and so it kind of, it's, you know, I keep in touch with her and see how she's doing, and because I know that there's a possibility that this is going to occur to me, reoccur, and but then I feel like if it does, I don't feel hopeless, because now I see her experience and that she's gotten better and she's getting better and she's working through it. So it's good to know, because I think sometimes if you're sitting, you know, and you don't know that, like if you go and you get diagnosed with it again, you're going to be like, oh my God, you're like despair, you know. And now I don't feel like if it occurs to me next year or the next year or the next year, I don't think I'll have that despair, because I can see the hope of some people that have had it more than once and are still alive, because the, you know, survival rate is bad, and you know, so but it just gives me hope, I guess.